So welcome back to the NightChild Reviews Prince, and this edition is about Prince versus piracy. Now this is a topic that's really blown up recently. I'm going to refer to an article by a guy called Scott Goodman, who runs the yourlisten.com website, and he has some really interesting things to say where he had received a phone call from Prince regarding this issue. But before I start that, I'd just like to say Prince has obviously been very protective throughout time about his image, his music, about his music being shared. He's famously launched lawsuits. We had the $22 million lawsuit last year. We've had lawsuits potentially against the Let's Go Crazy Baby on YouTube. We've had people being refused permission to use his music, such as Weirdo Yankovic. And Prince has always been very protective of that music. And I think the first thing I'd say is it's very difficult to understand sometimes as a fan. This is Prince's personal music. This means a lot to him personally. This is very difficult for us to say, oh well, he should just let everybody share the music, it's fine. But this is obviously very key to Prince. But then there's the other side, the fan side. Now, my friends can't believe, for example, there's no official document of the London 2007 shows. They can't believe that. And I feel in my heart, I would love to buy official product. I would love Prince to put that music out there. I want an official London 02 DVD. I want a Montreux. The Montreux shows Prince done amazing shows. I want an official DVD of those events. I want a musicology DVD. All these things I want. Prince is the greatest live performer I think there is, and yet there's so few documents of that live performance officially. I mean, you've got to go back to, are we going back to One Night Alone? Are we really going back that far? We want official Prince documents. Every tour to have a DVD we can buy. So, you know, if there is official product, hardcore fans, often people who may partake in bootlegs, would like to buy that official product. So the first thing I'd say is that there's this demand that Prince could fulfill by just releasing these products, because believe me, there are people who desperately want to buy them. Anyway, on to this article, and this is a fascinating article. As I say, a guy called Scott Goodman. I'll put the link underneath this video. Basically, he runs yourlisten.com, and they had some files on there. They had the song What If that Prince covered recently, and some other Prince songs. And he received a phone call from Prince, basically saying, it was kind of mysterious to begin with, but he wanted those files taken off. He said, I want those files taken off. And it's really interesting, some of the things he said. Now, bearing in mind, this is Scott Goodman quoting Prince, but some really interesting things that Scott Goodman said that Prince said. First of all, Prince insisted music's taken off. He said also that copyrighted music continues to be recklessly posted online. He said that it's something that, you know, clearly obviously bothers him, the fact that Prince personally called the person. Now, Scott, to his defence, said, look, you know, music piracy is always ahead of the industry. He said that the solutions to combat piracy are always way behind piracy tactics. Pirates are always, you know, way ahead of everybody else. And it's interesting, and he said perhaps the way to do that is to work with them to say, look, we should explore and implement various tech solutions that will enable, you know, Prince to take control of his music in order to monetize it more efficiently. But he said quite interestingly, Prince wasn't interested in that. He said, I want you to take the music off my site. That's what I want. And Prince refused to accept that piracy is inevitable. He said, and this is a direct quote, he said, Scott, piracy is something we can and will put to an end. People like you and I can win this battle. So in other words, he's saying that it doesn't matter. Prince is very clear, piracy can be defeated and piracy can be stopped. Now you have to ask this question, is that something that's realistic? You have to ask the question, ultimately, of Prince. Even if Prince is fighting a losing battle, even if Prince is not going to win this, does that make him wrong? Does that make him wrong to stand up for his rights as an artist, to say, I want to get paid, I want to restrict this material? He said also, that there are, you know, many, much of my music has been stolen, Prince said to him, and many live shows now are being illegally recorded and distributed online, these 30 plus years of timeless music. And I would refer slightly back to the point I made earlier. A lot of this music isn't officially available. In terms of Prince, you've got very few. You've got the Syracuse Purple Rain show, you've got Love Sexy, you've got One Night Alone, you've got the Rave DVD, but you haven't got a lot. If you consider the nearly 40 years of music that Prince has made, there's very few official live documents of that music. So there is a huge demand, and perhaps Prince isn't satisfying that, but he has made that very clear, that he believes piracy can be defeated. And it's quite interesting that Scott came up to him and said, you know, talked to him and said, there's many other ways we could work around this. We could work, you know, a plan together to release this music so you get paid and you're happy. He said, obviously, you know, that we artists need the technological industry and the technological industry needs artists. But Prince was very clear, very strict, he's not interested in that. I think it's really interesting how committed Prince is to this premise. Now, how do you feel about this? Do you feel, on one hand, you want to buy official product, but on the other hand, you want to listen to these shows? The thing is, a lot of the shows I've been lucky enough to see in London, if you live in America, you can't see. And conversely, there's lots of shows in America that I have no chance of getting to. I'm not going to go to Japan, perhaps, to see a concert, or to America, and I want to see these shows. Just as other people who want to see shows in the UK but don't live in the UK can't see these shows. For those people, there's huge demand to buy these products, to buy DVDs. And in terms of live performances, is Prince saying basically, if you're not there, if you're not at that live performance, then you don't get to see it? Now, there's one area in which Prince is always going to make money, and that is live gigs. Obviously, you cannot replicate that on the DVD. You can watch a DVD of a live performance, but it's not the same as being there. I think Prince is always going to make money at his live shows because people want to see him in the flesh. They want to see him perform, and you can never get the same atmosphere as you do, live performance as on a DVD. But as far as music goes, it is being shared a lot. A lot of it comes from original sources. A lot of it is soundboard. A lot of it comes from the vault, and obviously it's getting out from the vault somehow. We don't know how. But it is an interesting situation. I mean, what would you prefer? Would you prefer to pay for an official product that Prince released directly to you, and then they would cut the bootleggers out? Or is this inevitable thing? Has Prince got to kind of get with the programme and say, look, this is how it is. This is nothing I can do. But then, even fighting a losing battle sometimes has nobility. So is Prince making an important point saying, for the future generations of artists who need to get paid, should we protect these rights, but can we defeat these rights? Has the internet just simply ended that? Is that really realistic to expect that you can stop piracy? Let me know your thoughts. Would you rather buy official product if you could, if it was available to you? Or do you think that bootlegs are inevitable? Do you think that bootlegs serve a purpose in that they give you material that Prince is not providing to you? Or do you think it's Prince's music? He's worked on it, it's his creation, and how would you feel if you created some art and then somebody said, well, I'm going to give this away to everybody for free? You're not going to get paid. How would you feel if you'd made that art, you sweated over that art, and that you created that? How would you feel? Let me know below the line. Thank you.